Welcome to today's video, where we will be discussing the topic of viable green buildings. This topic is very topical and important at the moment as more and more people and companies are trying to find ways to reduce their environmental impact and combat climate change. In recent years, we have witnessed numerous events that have made us think about the impact our way of life has on the planet. Climate change, global warming, air pollution and other issues have made us think about how we can help to mitigate the negative impacts of our lives on nature. One solution to reducing our impact on the environment is viable green buildings. These buildings are designed to minimize the use of energy, water, and materials, as well as reduce the production of greenhouse gas emissions. So today we're going to look at the benefits and opportunities of green buildings and how they can help reduce the energy consumption and carbon footprint of buildings. We will also look at some examples of successful green buildings around the world. So, if you're interested in environmental and sustainable living topics, be sure to subscribe to our channel where we'll be covering more interesting topics related to ecology and sustainability. Now, let's dive into the world of green buildings and find out how they can help reduce our impact on the planet. So, let's take a look at what green buildings are and how they work. Green buildings are designed to minimize their impact on the environment while providing a comfortable and healthy environment for users to live and work. These buildings use special technologies and materials that reduce the use of energy, water, and materials, and minimize the production of waste and greenhouse gas emissions. The technologies and materials used in green buildings are very diverse and depend on the specific needs and conditions of the building. Some of these technologies include solar panels and photovoltaic systems to harness the sun's energy, wind turbines to harness wind energy, green roofs and walls to improve insulation and reduce energy consumption for air conditioning, use of rainwater and gray water for flushing toilets and watering gardens. In addition to these technologies, special materials and insulation are also used in green buildings to reduce the energy consumption of the building. These materials can be traditional, such as mineral wool or glass fiber, or modern, such as materials using nanotechnology. The benefits of green buildings are manifold. Not only do they reduce our impact on the environment, but they also improve the quality of life and work for users. Thanks to improved insulation and the use of renewable energy sources, green buildings are much more efficient and economical in the long run. In addition, green buildings also improve air quality, reduce the risk of mold and insects, and contribute to sustainable development and the protection of natural resources. Green buildings also often offer aesthetic and modern solutions that can improve the appearance of urban areas and create new spaces for gathering and relaxation. So that's the basic information on what green buildings are and how they work. In the next part of the video we will look at how we can reduce the energy consumption of buildings using special technologies and materials. As we've already covered, green buildings are designed to minimize their impact on the environment, and many use special technologies and materials to reduce their carbon footprint. There are three main ways to reduce the carbon footprint of buildings. The first way is to use materials with a low carbon footprint. This includes materials that are made from renewable resources, such as wood, and also materials that are produced with minimal greenhouse gas emissions, such as concrete. The second way is to use recycled materials. This means using existing materials instead of producing new ones. For example, old tiles or bricks that are recycled and reused can be used. The third way to reduce the carbon footprint of buildings is to minimize waste and use renewable energy sources. This means minimizing the amount of waste that is generated during the construction and operation of the building and using renewable energy sources such as solar power or wind power to keep the building running. Using these three methods can significantly reduce the carbon footprint of buildings and help us to do our part to protect the environment. In the next part of the video we will look at examples of successful green buildings that use these principles and can be energy efficient and sustainable. We will now look at some examples of successful green buildings around the world. These buildings use a variety of technologies and materials to minimize their environmental impact and can be an inspiration for the future of sustainable living and working spaces. One example is Beds Edu in London, which is an eco-friendly residential community with over 100 apartments. This community uses various technologies and materials such as solar panels, wind turbines, and green roofs to minimize its environmental impact. In addition, all buildings in this community are designed to minimize energy and water consumption. Another example is the Bullitt Center in Seattle, which is one of the most successful green buildings in the world. This building uses 100% renewable energy and minimizes waste production with recyclable materials and systems that allow for on-site recycling. The Bullitt Center also uses green roofs, solar panels and wind turbines to minimize its carbon footprint. These examples show that it is possible to design and build buildings that are energy efficient and sustainable, while providing a modern and aesthetically pleasing environment for users. These buildings use a variety of technologies and materials to achieve their goals, but all share a common desire to minimize their environmental impact. The use of modern technology and materials is key to achieving sustainable and environmentally friendly buildings, but each of us can do our small part to protect the environment. Energy resources and materials are limited, and we each have a responsibility to minimize our impact on the environment. Green buildings are a key factor in reducing our energy consumption and carbon footprint. These buildings allow us to live and work in sustainable and eco-friendly environments that minimize our impact on the environment. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on sustainability and environmental issues. And feel free to let us know what topic you would like to see in our next video.